Our Great War is a spiritual war. Our Great Depression is our lives. This is the one quote that always stood out to me from the movie Fight Club. Recently I've been living in an optimum state. I've just moved in with my girlfriend, we're in Australia, and so we're eating really healthy. Our diet is almost immaculate. It's meat, it's fish, it's vegetables, it's fruit, it's super low on carbs, super high in protein. We're going to the gym 5 times a week. I'm getting up every single day at 6 a.m. to do this work before anyone else is even up. Every single day I'm working, I'm in the gym, I'm eating healthily. I feel brilliant. And that's not a flex or anything. I'm not here like, oh, my dick's bigger than yours. I'm in genuine awe at myself because 4 or 5 months ago I was living like a total degenerate. Back then I'd get up at fuck knows when, some days early, some days late. What I'm trying to say though is there was no structure to it. I'd roll out of bed, I'd go to the library and do some work for about 2 hours. Then go get a Taco Bell, fill myself up with carbs to the brim. Go back to the library feeling lethargic and slow and try and do another 2 hours of work where I'd spend half the time checking the United score on BBC Sports. After that I'd go home, maybe I'd hit the gym if my mate was up for it, maybe not though if he wasn't, I'd never go by myself. And then I'd drink till midnight, every single night, well later than midnight. Go to bed. I wouldn't even get hangovers anymore, that was the thing. I was just so used to drinking. I'd just drink every night. It was pure degenerate behaviour. Again, this isn't supposed to be a flex, but I'm worried this is exactly how you guys are living your lives, if not worse. You probably check your phone the first thing you do in the morning, maybe even relapse the first thing in the morning. You go to work or to school, spend your day doing some shit you don't enjoy, and then come home so shattered, so tired that you don't have the energy to do anything else. So you just pull out YouTube and watch it for till 9 or 10, for 5 or 6 hours. You'll go downstairs and eat some food with your parents and you'll scurry up back into your cave and just watch it again. Our generation is in an all-out war. It's in a fight with these big companies, with these big corporations for our energy and our attention. Think about it like this, right? Imagine every single morning you wake up with 100 energy points. I mean, depending on how you slept, it might be a bit less. But it's 100. You have 100 points to give out that day to various things. To the gym, to meditation, to schoolwork, to work, to exercise, whatever. The problem is you're giving up so many of these points to stuff that isn't productive. And these big companies know that too. Big companies like Meta, like Google, they're competing with each other as to how many of these points they can take away from you. And they've hired entire teams of people whose literal task in life is to suck up as much of your attention as they can. There's this famous quote that you've probably heard, and it basically goes, if it's free, you are the product. And that is so true for these companies like Meta and like Google. You're the product. You are the audience that they've built. You are the base that they can sell to advertisers to sell their product on. And the more hooked you are, the more valuable you are to them. And so that's exactly what they try and do. They try and hook you and keep you in there, in place, because if you're engaged, you can be sold to. And I mean, I can tell you this as a YouTuber, right? The metrics that they specifically look out for are audience retention and minutes watched. If my video has a 30-40% audience retention, which apparently is good, and, well, most of it's being watched, that ranks higher on the algorithm. YouTube will push that video more and to more people because it knows fairly consistently it can take the gamble that that video is going to keep people on the channel. Whereas if I record a video and it gets 10% viewer retention, right? YouTube isn't going to push that video at all because it loses viewers. It loses the audience that it can advertise to. It loses Google money. So we need to declare war on these corporations, and it really is a war. This is what you need to start thinking about. These corporations have hooked us all. They've hooked your parents, they've hooked your siblings, they've hooked your brothers. You'll come home after school and your little 7-year-old brother will be sat there playing on his iPad with the big stupid case on it. Your parents will be sat there scrolling through Facebook, playing Candy Crush. This is a war. It is causing suicide, depression, anxiety. These are symptoms that so many people are experiencing today, maybe even you are. Depression now in our current society is at endemic proportions and it goes up every single year. I mean, it's fucking tragic. So my most viewed video, right, has 50,000 views. Now, statistically speaking, 5 of the people that have watched that video are going to kill themselves. It is just so fucking sad, man. 5 of the viewers of that video, people on self-improvement, are going to kill themselves. It's a war. and your brothers are dying. The fact that people are killing themselves at 18, 19, 20 it's crazy, man. And this is just one of the problems. It is a genuine war. There is a genocide being committed right now against our generation, and we don't even know about it. We don't even know it exists. It's the worst thing of all. We're lambs in the slaughterhouse here because half of us haven't clocked onto the fact that we are inside of this war. We see this increase in mental health as natural. We see it as it's because it's being spoken about more. But it's not natural. It's completely manufactured and completely and entirely to do with the way we live and the way our entire lives are manipulated by corporations. I mean, it makes me think of that movie WALL-E for some reason, where all those like fat slobs are just sat on those chairs going around that cruise ship, and they're so just glued to their screens and glued to everything. And it just makes me think of that for some reason. That's what our current generation is. We're billboards. We're just told these things, and that's how we live our lives. We wake up and we watch YouTube. We have Instagram and TikTok on throughout the day. We go and eat at McDonald's, drink Coca-Cola. Everything we do is controlled by big corporations, and everything they do is killing us. I mean, let's go through them one by one, right? So Instagram. What do? You doom scroll for a few hours a day, right? You see a meme and you breathe through your nose slightly harder. You do this, you go, that's the classic thing that everyone does, right? And that is funny. That's a good reaction. So you send that to your friend and they probably look at it and go, that's it. You don't even laugh anymore at Instagram. Just deep that for a second, how crazy that is. You probably have only ever actually laughed at Instagram once or twice in your life, and you consider it entertaining. I mean, you need to delete Instagram now because, well, you're not missing anything if you do, and that's where these companies get us. They've brainwashed you so hard into believing that Instagram is such a core part of life that if you delete it, you're missing out, right? They've brainwashed you into believing that you're going to miss out on the next trend, on the next meme. You're going to miss out on the status that you get from getting likes. You're going to miss out on all these things. They teach you from such a young age, they brainwash you into believing that not having Instagram in your life retracts from its quality. You need to do a value judgment here. You need to basically ask yourself, is Instagram giving you enough value to lose this battle for attention in the war? And the answer is no. There is absolutely no way that Instagram gives you enough value for that, considering all of it does is make you breathe through your nose slightly harder, man. You don't even laugh at it anymore. Snapchat, that's another example, and all of your excuses, I can hear them already, are going to be, okay, well, how am I going to talk to my friends? How am I going to hear about the party? How am I going to do this or that? That's bullshit, man. And the second you delete these apps, you realize how much of social connection actually you're missing. These apps don't make you connected. You're not friends with your friends because you send them a picture of the corner of your forehead 5 times a day, right? And call it a fucking streak. That's not where friendship is made. And deleting Snapchat isn't going to change anything, right? You're still going to have your friends. They're still going to be your friends because they like you as a person. They don't like talking to you on Snapchat. You don't miss out on anything again. You'll still be invited to all the same things. You'll still do whatever. And in fact, you'll probably build closer relationships with them because you actually take the time to speak to them genuinely rather than just expecting to be able to talk to them on Snapchat when you get home. So I urge you guys, as part of this declaration of war, to honestly look at the actions you're taking and ask yourself this question. This is a little exercise that I love to do. And it's basically this, can you honestly remember more than 5 posts that you saw yesterday on Instagram and TikTok? We can even combine them. And unless you're going to cope now and be like, oh yeah, I can remember 6, then just shut the fuck up, man, because it is so obvious that there is no value here. Because if you can't even remember 5 of the posts you saw yesterday, then what is the point in you consuming? The consumption has got to the point where it is so mindless that you can't remember what you're seeing anymore. I remember that when I used to use Instagram heavily, when I used to use TikTok, I would spend a whole day going through my phone, and the next day, you couldn't ask me to tell you more than 5 things I saw on there. Because you'll see something, scroll to the next one, and you will have forgotten about it instantly. It's not even bringing you pleasure anymore, man. You're just like a zombie. You're hooked to these screens being fed subliminal messages and adverts. Your brain has just become a sponge for corporations, right? You see a certain colour, hear a certain song, smell a certain thing, or get to a certain time of your day, and instantly your brain is triggered by a new corporation. It's crazy. You are at war with these big companies and they are winning. They have parasitically enveloped your mind already. A lot of us now live such passive lives. I mean, think back to it. When was the last time that you had that hunger, that fire within you, that urge to relentlessly attack your passion, to attack your goal? I mean, I'm sure you can't even remember it, but think back to the time when you first discovered NoFap and how amazing you felt. Instantly on your first streak, you were like, fuck, I just have energy and passion and raw anger and like a fire in my stomach within me. And every morning you woke up and you were like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna do today. That's gone now. It's gone. We live such fucking passive lives because our attention is so destroyed by these companies. They suck up every single part of our energy for the day. Within the first 10 minutes of it, we're left with nothing. And the war isn't over. So far you've lost battles. And this is a really crucial step to think about because I get a lot of young men who will come up to me on Discord or on Instagram and they'll message me and they'll say, hey Tom, I can't stop relapsing. Every 5 days I relapse again. And then I ask them, well, how many times did you used to relapse? And they'll tell me once a day. And I'm saying, here's the thing, man. Is you're seeing this as a defeat because you're relapsing every 5 days. But in reality, you're relapsing 20% as much as you used to. You are winning. You are winning the war. You are winning 4 out of 5 of the battles. And that's what you need. And of course, it's going to get better over time. You'll start winning 9 out of 10. You'll start winning 364 out of 365. And at some point, you'll win every single battle and then the war is won. But until that day, you need to focus on the small battles, on the small tasks. So today, delete one of the apps. Remove one of your social media profiles. Choose one, remove it. Reduce your use on them. Cut it down to 5 minutes to 10 minutes. Just cut down. Just remove one thing and win one battle because even that one tiny thing, that 1% improvement will be so big because of the magnitude of the issue. If you're addicted to Snapchat and Instagram and you remove just Snapchat, that's half of your problem gone. That's half of the battle won. And it makes you so much stronger to complete the next thing. I mean, the thing is this advice is different for different people. Personally, I'm more of a cold turkey guy, right? It was like that with NoFap, it's like that with this. I can quit these things like that. Well, I can't, it takes effort, but you know what I mean? I prefer to do it that way. But there is no harm, there is no shame in winning individual battles. But yeah, go and delete your Instagram account, go and delete your TikTok account. Take the battle to these corporations. Start this fight and start winning this war, which is killing your brothers and your sisters and your parents. Anyway, thanks for watching the video, guys. Drop a like, drop a comment to tell me you enjoyed it. Right below the subscribe button. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.